After our historic FA Cup run saw us reach the second round before defeat against Tranmere Rovers, I said I was going to play for a massive chunk of the season and come back when something important happened. Well, we have plodded along this season. We've not gone out of the top 5 the whole time. We were in second place for a massive chunk of it. We went on a brilliant run of form, but we were always too far behind Guiseley on points to actually trouble them and challenge for automatic promotion. So we've settled for the playoffs, and that's what we've got in today's episode. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and welcome to Tier 8 to Greatness with Wroxham FC and a promotion playoff encounter with Matlock Town and a possible final if we can manage to get through that. We're a couple of games away from promotion to Tier 7 of the English football pyramid, but the form we take into these playoffs is anything but good. If you have a look here, you can see from when we got knocked out of the FA Cup against Tranmere, we went on a very, very long run of great form. We only dropped points in 2 games, all the way from the 3rd of December through till the 8th of February. It was a fantastic run of form. We lifted ourselves up to 2nd in the league, but we were still around about 8 or 9 points away from Guiseley at this point. And then the wheels fell off in dramatic fashion. We lost to Consett 2-1. We then lost 2-0 to Shildon. Then we drew with Grimsby Borough. So it was 3 games without a win. We picked up a couple of wins there. And then we went on a run of 7 games without a win. And I got that dreaded message that comes through that says fans annoyed with Peter Reynolds for failing to change the tactics or blah, blah, blah. You know, that one that tells you that your tactics are no longer working. So you've either got to change them or lose and keep losing. So I changed them for the last game of the season against North Ferriby. I went to the 4-3-3 wide and we won 3-1. Now we take on Matlock Town in the promotion playoffs. Final table, you can see that we finished 3rd. Pontefract was 2nd, 3 points ahead of us. Matlock were just behind us, and then Hebburn got the 5th place. Guiseley absolutely run away with this league. 21-point gap over Pontefract. They did lose 4 games, but they were so much better than everybody else. Edwin Essel has continued to be a superstar for us. We haven't quite finished the season yet, but 45 starts, 4 sub-appearances, 12 player of the matches, 46 goals, 8 assists at a ranking of 7.68. The boy is fantastic, and hopefully, regardless of what happens in this episode, we will be able to hold on to him for next season. Other than that, not a lot really has happened. We've played some games. We got to the semi-final of the Integro League Cup, but it was never an important cup. So unless we reached the final, I weren't going to bother coming back and showing them. And we signed Joe Cook, a 25-year-old central defender, who has been quite good for us, to be honest. He's got a 7.25 rating, 22 starts, 2 sub-appearances. And him and Jack Leckie have made a solid partnership in the back line. That's you all caught up to date with what's been happening. Now, we're going to go and play a promotion playoff at home to Matlock Town. I'm sticking with the 4-3-3 wide that we played in our last game because it worked. We won a game. We started going on a really poor run playing the 4-4-2 narrow. It told me to change my formation. I did. We won. So I'm going to stick to it. The team: Davies in goal, Pitcher, Cook, Leckie, Dickens, Lewis, Sagaff, Hayes, Brown, Roberts and Essel. We have got the 4-4-2 narrow as a backup formation today. So if it starts to go wrong, we will be changing. And here we go. We are underway in the promotion playoff semi-final. If you can hear, I have still got that cold that I've had, and it seems to be getting worse again. It seems to be coming back a bit worse. So if I start coughing and spluttering and sneezing and stuff, I will have to pause the game and make a little bit of a cut. But hopefully it doesn't affect me too much. Matlock Town have got a free kick. It's the first highlight of the game. We're 24 minutes into the game and it's hit the post. Leckie gets it clear. Only as far as Jones. Jones is going to look to cross it in. He does. I mean, Pitcher got up there and headed it away, but Holland is going to shoot and it's gone over the bar and into the stands. And we survived the first highlight. We've had 7 shots on goal, 2 on target. Haven't had a highlight yet. Right, goes wide to Adams. Adams finds whatever his name was on the outside. I couldn't actually pronounce it. But Roberts couldn't make the run and he's been intercepted. Ray goes over the top to right. It's headed clear. Hayes to Brown. Brown goes over the top. Oh, Essel couldn't get onto it though, but Essel's got the ball back here. He goes back to Leckie, who finds Dickens on the left. His ball to space is cut out by the man whose name I can't pronounce. And the highlight's still going. And I'm not quite sure which way it's going to go yet. But here's Hayes to Connor Brown, who finds Edwin Essel, who's through on goal. And it's tipped round the post by the Matlock goalkeeper. And the score remains level. Sagath with a corner. He's headed back out for a throw-in. Matlock have brought a lot of fans with them by the looks of it. Look, their stand's completely chock-a-block. There's a lot of gaps around the stadium from our fans. Edwin Essel's taken a knock and wants to come off. That is not ideal. We've nursed him through till half-time. But I think we may have to take him off. The scores are Wroxham 0, Matlock Town 0 at half-time. We have the higher XG. We have more shots, more on target. But we haven't managed to find the back of the net yet. And hopefully that won't come back to bite us in the arse in the second half. Zion Dixon is on for the injured Edwin Essel, which wasn't ideal. Essel is our key front man who scored 40-odd goals this season. But here's Zion Dixon through and that's tipped over the bar as well. And here's Brown with a corner. Swings one in. But their defence gets up first. It's headed back and their goalkeeper gets hold of it. If for anyone wondering, Shaq Coulthurst is not in the squad because he broke his ankle. I forgot to mention it before. He broke his ankle a couple of months ago and misses the rest of the season. And Matlock have hit the post there. And they're still on the attack. Wood back to Ray. Ray plays a long ball over to the left. And finds Bill. I don't know what our defender was doing. And Lewis back to Leckie. Leckie to Brown. And we've managed to get it clear. I thought we might have hit him on the counter-attack. But we didn't. Here's Lewis with a free kick. Swings it in. It's headed clear. But Connor Brown chases it. Finds Leckie. Turns. Puts it out to the left to Lewis. Who's looking to look for a cross. Gets the cross in. And it's headed by Hayes. And it's in. Ryan Hayes with the header. Their keeper came. Didn't get to it. Ryan Hayes did on the header. And it's Wroxham 1. Matlock Town 0. Leckie to Lewis. Lewis run to the line. And I thought it might have got tackled. But he played it in. Their keeper came. Completely missed the ball. And Ryan Hayes is there just to head into an empty net and open the scoring. And we may not have our key striker on the pitch, but we do have the lead. Jack Leckie may need to come off. He's struggled for fitness all season, Jack Leckie. I'm going to take him off for the last 10 minutes and bring Nieko Sinclair on. Matlock have had a header that's gone just wide. And as we reach the dying moments of this game, it looks like, I say it looks like, but Maguire with a throw into Calperthwaite. Puts it over. It's headed out, but Sharman will look to continue the attack. Now Holland will. Calperthwaite again. McCabe. It's clear. I thought that was going to be a penalty. I really thought that was going to be a penalty. But this highlight hasn't finished yet. And there's Ray over the top. He's found McCabe, and McCabe has hit the post. Get it out! Get it out! Oh, I think it was offside. I got all excited then. I thought our defence was just going to stand there and allow one of them to score. Adams, Dickens has possession. Whacks it long. Finds Zion Dixon, who tries to find a teammate but gives the ball away. And that's another offside. And Davies should really, once he's cleared this ball, the final whistle should go. And we should have recorded a 1-0 victory. And he didn't even need to take it. It's a 1-0 win over Matlock Town in the playoff promotion semi-final. And we are one step closer to promotion to Tier 7. We will play Hebburn in the final of the promotion playoffs for promotion to Tier 7 of the English Football Pyramid. The game's going to be played on Saturday, the 3rd of May. And if we look at past meetings between us, we've only lost against them once in 4 meetings. It was away, but it was the most recent meeting back in March. Before that, we beat them 3-1 away from home back in September 2023. We drew 1-1 at home in January 24. And then this season, we beat them 4-3 at home and then lost 1-0 away. So, we do have the advantage of winning more games over them than what they have over us. But they won the most recent meetings. And it's a one-off game where both teams are going to give it their all. It's basically a cup final for a place in the tier above what we are now. And yeah, both teams are going to give it their all and anything could happen. We've had our team meeting. I've eased expectations and told the team to treat it like any other game. And now all there's left to do is go and play. Tom Dickens got booked in the last game, so he's suspended for the final. So Charlie Seaman comes in at left back. That is the only change to the team. Edwin Essel has missed training for the last couple of days. He's not fully fit. He remains some way short of full fitness, but I'm not leaving my top goal scorer out for this most important game of the season. If he gets injured now, then he gets injured. Hopefully, he'll score a couple of goals before that. Jack Leckie also struggling for fitness, but has been for most of the season. I'm not leaving them out. They're my best players, and this is the most important game of the series so far. And here we go. We're underway. Wroxham against Hebburn in the playoff final for a place in Tier 7 of the English Football Pyramid. And if anyone's noticed, we're actually at home. I thought we might have been played on a neutral ground, but we're at home, and I think it's because we finished higher than them in the league. So I presume if we'd played Pontefract in the final, we would have been away because they finished above us. Here's Lewis to Essel, back to Hayes. Hayes to Sagaff. Sagaff out to Seaman. He finds Roberts on the left. Roberts bursts into the box. Is he going to shoot or pass it? He shoots and he scores! Dan Roberts puts us 1-0 up after 15 and a half minutes against Hebburn in the playoff final. Hebburn haven't actually brought as many fans as what Matlock did in the last game. But we're 1-0 up. Roberts picked the ball. I thought he was going to square it. He didn't. He kept hold of it. Went for the glory himself. And the glory he gained. Still a tight game though. We've only had 2 shots on goal. They've had 2. We've hit the target both times and scored. They haven't managed to hit the target yet. But here's Roberts. Finds Hayes. Hayes finds Essel. Essel's through here. And that's 2-0. Edwin Essel. There's the reason I didn't drop him from the squad. Even though he wasn't fully fit, I put him in the starting lineup. And he scored the second goal after 20 minutes. That's 2 goals in 5 minutes. And we've taken control of this final. Edwin Essel clean through. Their goalkeeper couldn't do a thing about it. And it's Wroxham 2, Hebburn 0. And we are another step closer to promotion. We've had 6 shots on goal, 4 on target so far. Our XG is still only 0.86, but we've scored 2. Again, I'm looking at the health meters over here. Jack Leckie is knackered again. Joe Cook's got poor fitness. But we've reached the break and it's Wroxham Town 2, Hebburn 0. Wroxham FC 2, Hebburn Town 0. No changes at the break, despite the fact that we have a few fitness issues. I am keeping an eye on them though. Edwin Essel, Jack Leckie and Joe Cook and Harry Pitcher have all got low fitness levels. Just hoping that if we score again, then I'll make a couple of changes. But at 2-0, it's still that tight one. Because if Hebburn get the next goal, it starts to get like squeaky bum time. But there's Edwin Essel puts the ball over. And if Hebburn get the next goal, then it starts to become more tense, more heart-stopping, more nerve-wracking. Like I said, the bum starts flapping a little bit. And here's Brown on the right-hand side, looking for space. Goes long, and their goalkeeper claims it quite happily. It was a poor ball from Brown. Cook finds Brown again. Is he going to look for a long ball again? He tries to play it on the floor this time and still gives it away. Cook to Sagaff. To Lewis. Lewis goes over the top, but Asensio heads it back to his goalkeeper. Keeper goes long. And Fogarty, our defence just stands still, and Ainsley Fogarty has scored the next goal. It's now Wroxham 2, Hebburn 1. It was a long kick from their keeper, and our defence basically just stood still again. It was that ball over the top again where the defence stood still, didn't react until Fogarty had pretty much already put the ball in the net. And Hebburn are back in this game. And now it's going to start getting tense. We've got 20 odd minutes left. And a lot of players who are struggling. Suddick plays the ball over the top. Oliver Davies will claim it. Kicks it long. But gives possession away. And Hebburn are going to look to build another attack here. Hutchinson heads it down, but Pitcher to Essel. And Essel has taken this brilliantly, shoots, and probably had a little bit more time. He could have probably gone into the box and actually got himself into a better position. We're in the last 10 minutes. I want to make changes, but I don't. I don't want to take off players like Essel and Leckie while it's such a delicate scoreline. But here is Essel. Squares it to Roberts. Roberts back, and Essel into an empty net, and it's 3-1. I wonder what Edwin Essel was doing. All season, every time he's been in a position like that, he's shot. But he's got the ball here. I thought he was going to turn and shoot, but he didn't. He played a first-time pass. Roberts managed to get there first, plays it, and it's deflected in off the post, or deflected off the post into the path of Edwin Essel, and Essel puts the ball in the back of the net. And we're 3-1 up. Sagaff with a corner. It's headed out to Lewis. Lewis to Seaman. Seaman tries the ball into the box, but their keeper claims it. Now if I take Edwin Essel off, he's probably going to cry because he's done a hat-trick. Here's Reed for Hebburn, and Reed's shot is straight at Davies. Davies saves it. I don't think I've got any more defenders. I've got Omri Wilder, but I don't think he can play in the middle. But it doesn't matter anyway, because it's Wroxham 3, Hebburn 1. 2 goals from Edwin Essel, 1 from Roberts, and every single player except for the substitute Nieko Sinclair and the goalkeeper Davies got over a 7 rating. We've dominated the game, and we have been promoted to Tier 7 of the English football pyramid at the 3rd time of asking. The board are pleased, the fans are absolutely over the moon, and I'm happy as Larry. Whoever Larry is, and hopefully he is very, very happy because I am. We have been promoted to Tier 7 of the English football pyramid. To be honest with you, if we didn't get promoted in today's episode, I was considering either turning this series into a journeyman or killing it off completely, because we've had 3 seasons in Tier 8 of the English Football League, or the English Football Pyramid, and it was starting to get a little bit monotonous. We've got no money, like we're skint completely, so we can literally sign enough players to put a matchday squad out and maybe a couple of lesser quality ones that are just on the fringes, and then they're all going to be out of contract. We have to get a whole new squad in, rinse, repeat, and it was getting a little bit boring, and yeah, I was considering changing it. I got offered a couple of jobs in the National League North and South earlier on in the season, and it just made me think that I could actually create a good manager narrative if I moved to another club and turned it into a journeyman and see how far I can get. Find that Tier 8 to greatness elsewhere. But we've been promoted. So I've got to give it at least one more season at Wroxham and see if we can move up again, because now we're only one tier out of the north and south ourselves. That is going to wrap up this episode, though. I've got a lot of thinking to do with regards to squad management, because the only 3 players who will remain in contract at the end of June, when the contracts all run out, are Leckie, Lewis and Brown. Everyone else is going to be out of contract, so I've got to decide who we're going to take up the divisions with us, who's going to be going out the door, and what quality I need to bring in. As I've already repeated, we ain't got any money. So we're going to have to try and be a little bit shrewd about it. We're obviously going to need better quality players because we're going to be in a better quality division, but I'm not sure how much money we're going to have along the way to do that. But that's for another day, or for another episode at least. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell to know when new episodes are released. Comment below to say hi and to help the algorithm. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.